One of the best movies of all time? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Paddington 2. A movie that a lot of people unironically say is one of the best movies of all time. Like, people who wouldn't normally watch this kind of family film say that this movie is not just better than the first movie, but again, one of the best films ever made. And they mean it. And I don't know why. I don't know like any specifications on it. I don't know what the movie is about other than Paddington. Continuation from the first film that we have reacted to on the channel. And so I'm really curious to see why people say this and what I think of it comparatively. Because I've been known to have different opinions than a lot of people. But I acknowledged when we reacted to the first movie that it's like, oh yeah, this was really good actually. So if this movie does truly live up to the hype that it's received, in my opinion, of course, then that's going to be pretty amazing. Now, this is a donation reward, just to get this out of the way. This is a donation reward for Venom, so thank you as always. And there is actually a third one that I believe is coming out in, I don't know, a couple months. And it's called Paddington Goes to Peru, or something like that. Or Paddington in Peru, maybe? Something along those lines. But yeah, it's going to be coming up soon. And I've not seen the trailer for it, so maybe that'll happen on the channel at some point in the near future. But first we have to get through this one. So like I said, I don't know anything about the plot or anything comparative to the first one. I just know it's a follow-up to that. So as a reminder of what happened in the first one, Paddington is a bear who was from Peru. He was raised by these other two bears who learned human language and whatnot from an explorer who came to visit them. And so Paddington ended up kind of stowing away to America, or to the UK, not America, to the UK, ended up finding this family who he just started to try and, like, you know, make a home with. He started to try and become a part of the family and stay with them and everything because he needed a place to stay. And it led to a bunch of wacky hijinks, a bunch of shenanigans, and excuse me, and a crazy lady who was the daughter of the explorer who first came to Peru in the first place, trying to basically catch and kill him because of what it could be worth to do so. So, yeah, it was quite a crazy film. Had Peter Capaldi in it, which was pretty wild and fun. He's an actor from Doctor Who and the second Suicide Squad movie. It was a lot of fun, and definitely was a lot better than I anticipated it being. So like I said, I hope this one is even better. Paddington has definitely made a home here with his new family. So it's just a matter now of sorry, I don't know if that noise picked up, but I heard a noise and it just like confused me. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I look out the window and it's like, oh, a delivery. And of course the dog started barking because of course she did. Where was I? Oh yeah. Paddington, you know, making a family, having all that come to be, and everything went pretty well. but I wonder what the plot's going to be for this one. So we're just going to get on with it and see what Paddington 2 has in store for us and see if it lives up to the hype of being like one of the best movies ever. So let's give it a shot. Cutting in here real quick to remind you that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions with 2 on Friday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays every day of the week. We switch on and off every day between Horizon and Baldur's Gate 3 and have Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. Please don't forget to click the link in the description below to follow it to today's reaction. We redirect everything just due to copyright. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and the channel, respectively. And I hope you have a great time with today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So let me spin for you a story. When this movie came out, it garnered a rare 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, as I always say, take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt. The scores are based on critic reviews and not the general public. Yada yada, you get the gist. A lot of times critics can go into movies and just view them from only a critical perspective and not from just, I'm going to watch a movie perspective. But the point is, it did garner a rare 100% rating. That was ruined, though, and it went down to a 99% when this reviewer, this critic named Eddie Harrison from filmauthority.com, put up a review in May of 2021, scoring it a 2 out of 5. Now, everyone's entitled to their opinion and everything. That's fine. That's well and good. But this... Let me read from this review. Let me read from this actual review. So the reviewer talks about how when he was like 5, he went to see a statue of Peter Pan in London, and it didn't look as great as he thought it would be. He grew up with Paddington Bear, and this, in his opinion, didn't really resemble the character of the books and stuff. But I want to read some of his complaints here. Instead of the button eyes and cheerful demeanor, this Paddington has evil, beady eyes and ratty fur. What? But hold on. This is not my Paddington Bear, but a sinister, malevolent imposter who should be shot into space or nuked from space at the first opportunity. Overconfident, snide, and sullen, this manky-looking bear bears little relation to the classic character, and viewers should be warned this ain't yo mama's Paddington Bear, and it won't be yours either. What? Eddie, my dude, my brother in Christ. What? Was he on something when he wrote that? I'm ignoring whatever you think about his opinion on things. Ignoring just the opinion aspect of it. He has evil, beady eyes and whatnot. He's a malevolent imposter. He should be shot into space or nuked from space. What the fuck? It is a fictional character. A fictional, literal storybook character in a live action CG adaptation of a adaptation film of that storybook character. It's not that fucking serious, my dude. It's not that serious. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I see an adaptation of something that I love that just doesn't end up being that great, sure, I understand it can end up souring you to it a bit. Of course, sure, fair. But if you're taking it seriously enough, a fictional piece of media, if you're taking it seriously enough, where you're like going that ridiculously hard and saying the character, this interpretation of the character should be nuked from space. It's like, I think there's some other issues you might need to unpack here. I think there's something a little off if you're taking a fictional CG bear character this fucking seriously. Like, I understand getting invested in characters and stuff, that's fine, but that's a little too far, my dude. Um, what the fuck? And that's the review that bumped this down to a 99%. And there's like, I think one other. Let me see. There was like one other negative review on here from Justin Brown from Medium Popcorn. The person put the review up in April 29th of 2022. So like a year after that other one. And his review is basically just like saying like, oh, as a man who's dead inside, I couldn't buy into it. It's just not for me. Which it's like, it's like, Jesus, dude. It sounds like you need a hug or something. But also, okay, that's at least fair. You're just saying, okay, it's not for me. It's not my thing. But you're not like going to like, he should be nuked from space. Jesus. And I think those are the only two negative reviews that I see on here. Everything else is entirely positive. In terms of critic reviews, of course. Because audience reviews are a completely separate thing. The audience score, by the way, is 88% based on 5,000 plus ratings. But even with the critic score bumped down to 99%, it's still certified fresh. And does this live up to the hype for me? In terms of people calling it, like, unironically, one of the best movies ever? No. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. People over-exaggerated the shit out of that. Is it good? Absolutely. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant movie. But it's not like one of the best movies ever made. That's just a bit too far. What would I say? How would I say it compares to the first film, though? Let's talk about that. I would say it's pretty much on the same level, maybe just a little bit above the first film, just because it's a little more exciting and action-packed, and you don't have to worry about getting all these characters introduced and whatnot. It has a little more fun with its concepts as too. Wow, I butchered that. It has a little more fun with its concepts too, allowing it to get a little wackier and sillier and more fun because of that. So I appreciate that. And I think it's just a little bit better than the first film, but it's not like one of the best movies ever made. No. But the fact is, the first film was already phenomenal. So with this being a little better, it's still phenomenal. It's still a phenomenal film. That's just still the case. But again, people just over-exaggerate it. I like the new additions to this, having like Hugh Grant and whatnot in it. I really liked Brendan Gleeson's role as Knuckles. He was definitely the best new addition to this world, to this set of characters and whatnot. But maybe it's because I tend to enjoy characters like that, these rough, gruff, tough sons of bitches who end up having like a kind, helpful, loving personality deep down and help out the main character and kind of like turn their lives around and stuff. It's like I tend to enjoy characters like that. So it's not a surprise that I like that. Plus, Brendan Gleeson's acting is fantastic. No surprise. So yeah. I I also really like the returning characters, such as Peter Capaldi in this. He was as great as ever, being the curmudgeon uh, voice against Paddington, I guess you could say. Like, he's not like an active problem or anything. He's not like this like massive antagonist or big trouble. He's just kind of a nuisance. And it's like, I get it. The girl you had a thing for went to prison. But it's like, chill the fuck out, my dude. Um, yeah, it's just, it was such a wild, fun movie. Uh, I was not expecting Paddington to go to prison, but that is a thing that occurred. And I really love the prison scenes, especially the stuff in the cafeteria. Like when he's teaching Knuckles how to make marmalade and stuff. It's like, that's just fun. That's just adorable. And then they present it to all of they give it to all of the other inmates, and he's so worried about what they think about it. It's like, that's adorable. That's so cute. And everybody loves him. They start offering their own recipes and stuff, and it's like, this is just the best. This is so cute. It's so fun. And don't get me wrong, I like the other stuff too. I liked the stuff featuring the returning characters, the adventure. The entire train sequence was pretty wild. But the prison stuff, specifically around the food, was just the best part of the film for me. Just bar none, it just stood out so much. It was so funny, it was charming, it was cute, everything I wanted it to be. And so now we have um, a third movie on the horizon, Paddington in Peru. Like I said, I believe it comes out this year. And I'm really hoping that even with like cast changes and stuff, that this one continues to be great. It sucks that Sally Hawkins won't be in it because she has such great chemistry with the disembodied voice of Ben Whishaw and the CGI bear, I guess. I don't know how it makes sense, but she does. So the fact that she's being recast does kind of suck, but you know, she chose to step down. She chose to like leave on a good note and everything. So hopefully things go well in that regard. Um, yeah, I don't know anything else about the new one other than they're going to Peru. That's it. So I'm hoping that one ends up being just as good as these first two were. Um, I definitely want to see this again. I definitely want to see if there's any reactions I can watch to this, because it was just an absolute blast. It was so fun. It was so charming. It was just a great movie, just like the first one. Had a lot of great new actors in it. Had a lot of actors who were in it in the first one. It's just like, how can you not love this shit? How can you not? But tell me in the comments below, what did you think of Paddington 2? Let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite part of it? For now, though, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.